and welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, if you have never thought about people being spiritual and kind of not so much knowing the future or predicting the future, but some people have that intuitiveness to know what maybe the future for you holds. And it's a quality that I personally believe we may all have, but we don't nurture it, so we can't use it. Where other people nurture it and they learn how to use it. You take somebody like, most of you won't remember, Buddy Rich is probably one of the best drummers ever. I can drum, but he did it every day, and he nurtured that talent. That's why he was so good. With me is Colleen Gonzalez,
Yes.
and you are a spiritual siren.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
that's the name of my business. Sure.
Okay. And that's also what you are.
Yeah, well, I'm an intuitive tarot reader. For
Okay.
Sure, yeah. And I just help people, like, guide them through with my cards.
Okay. So I know very little, so now I'm going to pick your brain a bit.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Why'd you get into this?
Well, to be honest, about 7 years ago, I had a little mini spiritual awakening.
Okay.
And I was just, like, searching for answers. I didn't know what path to go down. And I started delving into spirituality, the metaphysical. I don't know if you've been to Scented Dragon.
Yes.
Over there. I love that store. And I started meeting people, and I just bought myself a deck and took lessons online, and from there,
Okay, so my question is,
I've
I
been
guess
doing
it's
it.
called having a reading, correct?
Yes.
Did you have a reading before you did readings?
No, actually, I didn't. I finally did later on, but no, I didn't.
Can you read for yourself?
Yes,
Are you able to
I
read?
do.
Okay, I didn't know, I know that a brain surgeon can't do his own surgery, so I didn't know if someone who read could
No,
read
if I'm
those.
stressed out or something,
Right.
I'll because I always meditate before my readings.
Okay.
So I'll meditate on my energy, see what's coming up for me. Like if I see a tower, which is usually a life-changing event, I'm like, oh, shoot. I know I have to deal with something.
Well, it's interesting because one of the things that we were talking about in the green room, and I'm going to word it the way I know how to word it, is we all have our skeletons, we all have our trauma that we should deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us don't deal with it.
Yeah,
And then it bundles up inside of us.
it does.
How does, going and getting a reading or coming to you help?
Well, most people that come to me anyway are going through either a third, like it's usually relationship and love, honestly. I mean, some
figure.
people for money, but it's usually people that lost their job, people that have been cheated on, people are going through divorces. It's traumatic events, like life-changing events like that, even people that have had sicknesses and stuff. So it helps just guide them a little. I am not there to predict anything because you have free will. You could make a choice tomorrow to change that whole thing that I see.
Right.
If you think about it, the next day I could do a reading and it's going to be a little different, maybe about the same situation. So really, I'm just there to help guide a person.
So,
That may something that's coming up in the future for them.
so a non-believer
Mm-hmm.
will come and you'll give him or her a reading, and you'll say, and yes, this is going to happen, and they'll do everything to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, luckily I have not had any non-believers. Most people that come are very open-minded and they want help. They want to see, they want some kind of, like I prefer people open-minded, because
Right.
if you're going to sit there and say, no, she's full of it, and it's really our minds create our own reality in a way.
That's true.
So, if you're saying that, then you're probably not going to agree with anything I'm saying.
Okay, so for many years, I was one that would always say, "Oh, really? Come on, give me a break. You can't."
said that.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, I had somebody come on, and I took in a call, 'cause we were doing calls then, and he said, and it was someone I knew, and he was telling that person, and you're going to take flying lessons, and I found after that I never told the guy that I didn't even know any of this stuff. He was reading stuff that I had no clue.
Mhm.
Even though this guy that he was reading for was a friend of mine,
Mhm.
I had zero clue.
Yeah.
So how he would know is beyond me.
Yeah.
And that gave me some insight that maybe there is that possibility. And then I thought about people honing their skills and their talents and focusing so that they could nurture that ability. And I said in the beginning, and I don't know if you agree, but I think that we all could be intuitive.
We all are. For
Okay.
sure.
And you chose the path to nurture that.
Mhm.
So you figured out how to utilize it.
Mhm. I didn't even know I had that quality for a long time until I went through what I went through, started doing meditations, opening, third eye you've heard of,
Right.
you know, that's your psychic abilities and stuff like that. So I started doing that and it got better and better, yeah.
Okay, so do you get support from friends or family that this is the path you wanted to take?
Yeah, I
Or do they
mean,
think you're crazy?
yeah, they think I'm crazy, but no, but no. Since I guess people always remember you how you were. So when I changed into this, I'm sure it's hard for them. They support me, yeah, but all of a sudden it's like psychic Colleen's here,
Right.
and I was this normal person like all this life. I mean, I was always a normal person. So yeah, family probably thinks it's a little strange, but they're supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there is a thing called Kangen water. Okay,
Mhm, I've heard of that.
okay, and I had the guy on, and it was really great. It worked really well for me. So I was telling somebody about it, and I said, "All right, so now you're a doctor." That goes in the Jewish family. My parents, that's my Jewish family. But it's like, so now you're a doctor, because people, like you said, know you for what you are and who you are. They don't understand that now you've picked up a new path and a new talent
Mhm.
or skill.
Yeah.
How many people ask you, can you give me the lottery numbers?
Yeah, there are some people.
Right?
Yes. But I am not psychic. That's the difference.
Okay.
I'm not like you. There are people that are psychic, and I'm amazed by them because I just like developed my intuition, over the years. And when I'm laying out a card spread for you, it's more like a story to me. I'm reading your story of your life. That's how I feel.
From the cards.
Yeah.
And
They're pictures, and I know what the things mean on the cards for a person, so I can pick up maybe this is going on. So it's not like I'm a psychic and I know the numbers, or I would be rich.
Okay, so I have been in Center Dragon and other places. There are different kind of tarot decks.
Hmm.
What's the differences with some of them?
Yeah, most of them, it's either the regular tarot decks, which are the ones we read from, or oracle cards.
Okay,
Which is
that was
like
another way.
you pick one and it has a message from usually spirit. Like usually a lot of us work with our spirit guides, angels, and stuff
Do
like
you
that.
do both?
Yeah, I have oracles, but most people want the reading more than the oracles.
All right, so someone comes to you for a reading. How long does it take?
Well, we can delve in deep or we can just do a basic. I fit whatever a person is looking for because usually when they call me, I like to know your birth date, first of all. I think I asked you when I first met you.
Uh-huh.
I like to know what your sign is because I study astrology too, and I like to bring astrology into it because each card is an astrological sign. So that helps me. And then I just ask what they're looking for pretty much. I don't want too much information. And then we set it up and we read. It's 45 minutes maybe.
Okay, when people leave, they leave with this new bit of information, I guess. And since we have free will, if we don't, if we push it a different direction, because we can, then really the reading can be changed in a matter of one decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So my question at that point is, someone comes to you for a reading, very pleased with the reading. How often do they come back?
Most people, I don't even like to do a lot because maybe once every 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, because people can get obsessed with when you're going through something, say you're somebody's having an affair and their husband is, they can get obsessed with knowing what their husband is thinking or what their, whatever the other spouse or whatever. Love affairs get very, very. So I don't like to read for people too much
And too much into that.
if they're going through that. Yeah, they need to try to heal themselves a little, step away from it.
But
But I
that's-
can still guide them. I can
But-
still guide them.
One of the things you said was love and relationships is one of the top things that people come to you for.
Hmm.
Is it okay? So you read someone's cards. Do you? And I'm probably not using the right word, but do you get attached or emotionally attached to that reading for them because you are an intuitive?
Oh, yeah, because I'm empathic like you.
Mhm.
So there have been times where I've felt backaches from readings, or, yeah, I've been in tears after a reading, and I have to sage and get myself back. Yeah, readings, you can definitely, if somebody's going through something, it's even traumatic for you.
So,
At
which
least for
the
me.
next question is, I guess it could mentally drain you.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can you? I mean, how many readings can you do in a row? I mean,
I've honestly never had to do them in a row. Usually I book, you get a few, but it's not like one on top. But I would definitely sage myself.
right. I mean, I get that being an empath. I was just saying that. I was in a rehab for something, for a stroke, and the other people were so much worse off than me, and it was very hard because I was very emotional for those people.
Mm.
Another reason that if you don't believe, then I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you're almost kind of foolish, because stranger things happen in this world than someone being able to read the cards that are in front of them. And it's not like you pick the card that's going to go on the table. You mix the deck,
Mm-hmm.
and the cards come up
Yeah, they come out.
not by your choice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Do people ever get mad at you because of some of the things that come out?
No, luckily I haven't had anybody mad. I mean, I've had people sad more, because
Well, I know,
it's
actually.
almost like when you see that, it's almost like their reality on the table.
Right,
And that's hard to deal with for people, but
right. And I'm sure
nobody's gotten mad,
I'm sure
luckily.
that people, if people are strange. If they don't hear what they want to hear, they will go out as a non-believer.
Yeah.
Okay, not all, because some people, ironically enough, I believe, even those things they don't want to hear, they're happy they heard them because it reconfirms things that they know.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you find that people come for a reading and hope that you say things that you don't know, even though it's negative to happening to them, that you come up with it because it kind of allows them to believe in what you can do more? If that
Yeah,
makes any sense.
Yeah, I kind of think, well, as somebody that does this and you're dealing with people that are upset and in trauma, you have to be very careful what you say, because you can really convince somebody of something if you're not right, to me at least.
Mhm.
In the spiritual community, I'm not, you just have to be careful with what you say to people, because it's their life and they believe you,
Right.
So yeah, I'm very careful usually.
Where do you do your readings?
I have a little place I do them.
Okay. Because I know that other people I spoke to in the past, some did readings on Saturdays at Scented Dragon, and
Mhm.
there's another place down the street by Walmart on US 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, and when I walk in those places, I find it really interesting because forgetting the spiritual value, some stuff is so beautiful.
Yeah, the
Some
stones and
stones,
crystals.
yeah.
And,
Some
yeah.
of it is
And
so
doesn't it
beautiful.
smell like home with all the incense? And
You know, the problem with that is sometimes it's too much
is it?
for me
Yeah.
because of my lung illness. So, when you're doing a reading, you're really not predicting the future. You're actually putting out, for lack of a better word, almost like a timeline of what they're going through.
Yeah, and that will, and the thing is, energy is fluid, if you know what I mean. Like, so I could do a reading that doesn't mean resonate right now, but in 3 to 6 months it can resonate for somebody. Also, I can pick up with, like, say you're coming to me, I can pick up on energies around you. So it's not just your energy I'm reading for. Like if your wife is thinking about you or somebody in your family, I can pick up on that. So sometimes I've done a reading and the person will say, like, you're talking about so and so, like this person in my life, not me. Because
Is
they're
it
thinking about them so much.
right? Is it hard because there are a ton of naysayers?
No, because I don't get the naysayers. Everybody that comes wants to be there. So I'm lucky.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I'm
that's
very blessed with,
that
you
is
know.
and interesting. I mean, what did you do before this?
Well, I still do it. I'm a cook in St. Lucie County Schools.
I
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So that has to be interesting in because being an intuitive and an empath, when you're around a lot of people, it sometimes gets tough. At least for me,
Yeah, I agree.
I was
It's,
told when you need to learn to compartmentalize because otherwise you're going to pull at everybody's feelings, and it's going to make you crazy.
yeah, do you get anxiety from being around too
Yeah.
many? Yeah, me too.
Today I was
Yeah.
at a networking meeting, and it was in a smaller space, and I had to walk in the hall because I couldn't do. I love people and I love being around people. I just
Mhm.
don't like to be around people in a tight spot.
Yeah, yeah, no, me
Okay,
neither.
and you know, times change as you get older. Things, your tastes change.
Mhm.
Okay, your belief. Sometimes your beliefs change, and it makes it difficult for somebody almost to go into the old dog. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but sometimes we have no choice but to learn new tricks.
Yes.
So when you do a reading, do you think that people take that reading that you've given them and then utilize it as, oh my God, she said this is the path that things are going. I'd like to change it and do something different.
I don't know what they do when they leave me,
Hmm.
but they come back, so I'm assuming they like my guidance.
Right.
You know?
Even if it's to fix.
Yes, like, or they want to see if the energy's still like that or whatever, like if somebody's still thinking of them or stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I would hope they take the guidance, you know.
Right. Otherwise,
They wouldn't be back to me and then they say she's a loony bin and I'm not going.
plus you don't want to do, I mean, your energy is kind of like mine. You don't want to do something just to do it to get their money. You want to do it for them to get the benefit.
Definitely
from
not. I definitely did this to help people because
Yeah,
I know what it's like, especially on the people on the awakening journey. That's a whole nother subject. I mean, the collective people are going through a lot right now,
I would tend to agree with that.
you know, so.
We're in a crazy time, but I guess our parents thought they were in a crazy time, and their parents probably thought they were in a crazy time. But, and this is kind of a weird question, but it just came up now. How far back do you think card reading and that goes?
Oh, I think it goes back to like the 14th, 15th century. I
Really?
think it started in Italy, I could be wrong, but I think in Italy they started, yeah. So, but it was more like they started it because of they were like playing cards, like our playing cards,
Hmm.
and then it just morphed into tarot.
Some, I don't know if you guys ever saw tarot cards, but some of them are really, really pretty
Mm.
and very cool. And I guess you really have to know how to read them. In the beginning, did you have a book next to you?
Yes, I did.
Do you still have a book next to you?
You know what? I definitely am always learning, and I listen to YouTube, a lot of readers, because there's some ones on there that will always give me, like, I could think it's one thing, but there's always more to learn with it. So I'm always getting better because I'm always growing with it.
Okay, we're at the top of our time. You have a phone number people can reach you,
Yep.
which is?
It's 772-359-4182.
Colleen, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Okay, actually, I learned. I'm very blessed that I get to sit here and interview people like you, and learn. Surely not the whole scenario, but learn some of what you do, and let people know that there are people that are professional that can do this because they nurture this skill. Real quick question: how often do you do your own readings?
Um, Well, no, I probably say at least two, 3 times a week I'll do myself.
Because
I like to poem in the morning to see how my day's going sometimes. I do.
and there's other, right, well, you have that, and you also have, the more you do, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
So that works. Okay, thank you so much. Everybody, check her out, and we'll be right back.